Where did you go? What number am I thinking of between 55 and 77? 64 is that number, and you got it. By default, 5-minute game. Here we go. Game 1. All right. I was already ready to double those points there. No button for that. Alrighty. The English. I've been playing the Botvinnik system quite a bit for white lately. We're going to have a Catalan. We saw the Catalan in the 2013 Candidates Tournament. The ongoing Candidates Tournament. Tomorrow being a rest day, so okay, let's see. Let's just go with some normal development. This is, maybe I could take this pawn and hang on to it. Okay, now this is a bit different. I think now my pawn, with this pawn on this square, after I capture, my opponent's going to have to do what? They're going to have to either capture their king or their knight. This would not be a good form of a gambit. So, pawn takes, take the queen. The knight, I'm assuming, is the one who retreats. My only concern in that variation is that with this pawn absent, this bishop is a bit more influential. Will I be able to get my light square bishop working? That's my only concern. Pawn takes, exchange queens, knight comes out. You know what? I think I could just play knight c6, or you know what? Maybe c5. Maybe c5 right now. No, later. Later I'll do that. So the queens are off. Queens are off, and I'm going to play c5 and then knight c6. And I think I have no... Ooh. Now that is something I did not expect. So my opponent is really going to try to hang on to this? No way. No way. What about c6, b5? Or just knight c6? And if this pawn is threatened, I could play knight a5. Or not so fast. Actually, knight c6, if the queen comes out to attack this, that's dropping this pawn. So actually, I think this is a good idea. I'm a bit hesitant to be blocking in my c pawn. That's one of my concerns when I'm bringing my knight out to c6 for sure. And this is very awkward, blocking in a central pawn. So that said, I think I want to hit that bishop right away. Knight here. Because now with the pawn being supported, maybe queen here to take the pawn is available. If I play a6 and think I can meet queen a4 with b5, I'm mistaken because knight takes. Rook here, queen out. This still isn't working. I think just knight here. If my knight is captured, I definitely take with my pawn. And now, okay, I'm picking up the bishop pair. This bishop is cooked. Do I really want that, though? Gives play on this file, builds the center. Just take the bishop, right? Knight takes bishop, bishop pair. Yeah, I'm going to take that guy. I'm going to get my knight out of the way. The main reason for this is to get this c5 advance in. And I'm okay with giving that pawn back. I'm really looking right now to open up the position. I want to break down these pawns. I want to get on this diagonal at an opportune moment. There is pressure on f7 by both knight and rook, so he can't go too far, but I'm assuming this knight is just on its way to pick up this pawn. And I think that's what my opponent should be going forward with. Okay, a3. All right, go here. And now I'm threatening a fork. This needs to be addressed right away. Okay, I got to take with the pawn. So pawn takes, bishop recapture. Oh, after pawn takes, the queen and bishop are converging on d5. I could just ignore it, though. I could just take right away and be on this pawn. The position is opening up. I have the bishop pair, and my opponent is still down a pawn. They do have play on the f-file. That's, I guess, my biggest concern. Did I just take that pawn? Bishop here, or just take that pawn? I think I like just bishop right here. Develop. There's pressure on this, but it's not an issue. And now I have an additional defender for f7. Pawn takes. I'm more than happy to be recapturing and pinpointing what would then be two double isolated pawns. So follow-up moves, I think queen here is my first thought, just queen here. There's no tricky stuff with the knight. I do have this square covered by my bishop. And this is the last piece that I need to really get working, so it's a good idea. I think I just want to reinforce my center. I wanted to play here first, actually, because it's opposite the queen. But fine with this. I really want to kick that knight away. That rook is on... I think this rook is close to being trapped. Hang on a second. Pawn push, rook here. My opponent really looking for mate? Is that what they're looking to do? What about bishop here? Hang on. My bishop could do something else. My bishop could definitely do something else. If I played f6, rook there was available, and I'm a bit uncomfortable about moving another pawn. A minute 10. I have to look for a way to convert this. Queen recaptures. My queen is unprotected. There might be some tactics, and now there's not going to be any tactics. However, this could maybe be taken, but after I capture this, the rook is close to being trapped. Okay, there could be rook here. I want to just take this rook. I'm going to take it. I know it's an imbalanced position. There's probably a cleaner way, but I'm going to be able to find pieces for my... I'm going to be able to find homes for my pieces. That's what I meant to say. And from here, this bishop dominates the knight. If the knight doesn't have a good place to move, the bishop isn't going to be doing anything. And now these pawns, I think I just keep rolling with them. 47, 2 minutes, 47 to 2. Just keep pushing my pawns. If you're going to give your queen up, you have to have what exactly? The number one thing is coordination. Okay, let's just protect this pawn. Bishop here to attack the pawn? Probably just push. The king is in danger. Recapture with the pawn or the rook. I'm going to capture with the rook, because I just want to get this guy working. And let's back up. Could grab this pawn. Once again, staying coordinated. The bishop once again boxing out the knight. I feel like I could even give up the exchange somehow. If the knight comes back, maybe just double. Knight takes rook, pawn recaptures, and then deflect the queen off of the d2 square somehow. Although there's got to be something much simpler. I think if there's a color complex to be focused on, or that I could rely upon, it would be the dark squares. So knight c2, knight f2, rook d4, dark square, opposite the knight, with just a single square between. It takes the knight forever to attack the rook from such a position. So knight here, just double rooks. Could have maybe considered doubling rooks right away, but just want to do this. 34. Okay, this knight needs to go. And I want to get this pawn. I'm going to sack my rook for this pawn if I can. I want to just get that pawn. Could I get that pawn? This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. There was something better. I need to do something. 20 seconds. I just wanted to sack here. I was going to give up some more material. I just keep running with this pawn, I guess. Oh, bishop could play here. That's something I could be doing. If queen takes pawn, pawn push, and it can't be caught, can it? Yeah, he can't be caught. Queen, surprisingly, she's not there to guard the c1 square in one move. Right? This one went down to the wire. Less than 20 for both of us. Okay. Good game, Metaplasia. I believe this was the first time we've played. Let's back up and look at it from your perspective. Okay, some things to point out are what exactly? This right here, I think, is a mistake. Why not play d4? Establish a pawn in the center. I already have one. You have one that's challenging, but just cement one in the center. d4 is it. d3 allows me to capture, and there's none of this queen a4 to pick it back up, because again, he goes into Pac-Man mode. This is just turning out to be a waste of time. Right? He took 2 steps to get to d4. Bishop here, blocking in a central pawn with the minor piece. Steer clear of that. And it was still pretty tricky. I don't know if I should have gone into... I don't know if that was the cleanest to be going in for an imbalanced position like that, but I felt I had coordination. You end up getting that pawn back, or do you? c5, I'm looking to just open up the position. As soon as I had your dark square bishop, I'm looking right at your dark square pawns, and I'm looking to strike at them. So that's my main reason behind knight here, a clearance for the c pawn to strike. And I'm not solving yet this light square bishop. He still has to get working, but I thought I could generate some threats along this diagonal. I'm seeing my queen and I'm seeing my bishop one day maybe being able to get on here with check at some point. Maybe even b2 will fall. Yeah, this right here, I think a3 is fine. Or no, okay, because you're chasing my knight away to a square where he wanted to go to, actually. You know, during the game I was thinking, you know, a3 is pretty good, but I was forgetting that once on d5, he is threatening this pawn, and after this capture, I think there's just absolutely no compensation. If there was even some compensation to begin with, I'm pretty sure right now there's just not. So instead of a3, if you are to even be in this position, I think just recouping the pawn is best. Just right away. Grab that pawn, and I still have some difficulties in getting this bishop working. Not so clear as to how I get him out. But after a3, I think it's just better now. I've solved. You've by capturing, you've helped me solve my issue. I can come out along the classic diagonal, and he's overprotected on c4. And there's no compensation at this point. I think right here, maybe if I could do it over, actually I'm seeing it right now, how about just dropping the queen back? Your rook is still attacked, and your knight would be attacked, so this would be better. No need to go in for the imbalance. No need to stir things up like that and make it a bit more complicated, which is exactly what I did. I had coordination, but again, unnecessary. And maybe even taking the knight was not needed. Just allows you another pawn that I was trying to track down. Queen here is very, very active. But now my pawn got running here, and he wasn't able to be stopped. Okay. Good game, Metaplasia.